Tomorrow's back, bringing you advice today to help you win your leagues tomorrow. Today we have Dynasty value of Tyreek Hill and why you probably have him too low in your Dynasty rankings. After being traded to Miami, people have been plummeting Tyreek Hill down the rankings because Tua is nothing compared to a special guy like Patrick Mahomes. And Tua also has one of the lowest aDOTs in the NFL. What we need to dive into first is Tyreek Hill's aDOT, which is very important. In order to be this downhill threat like everyone thinks that's Hill's game, that's just Hill's game because we all remember those long touchdowns. He's just taking it to the house and making an incredible play. You probably have to have an aDOT of at least 15 yards. So in 2017, his sophomore breakout season, he went 75 for 1183. And that was with 12.3 aDOT, 12.3 yards per aDOT. In 2018, you got to give it to him. He did have that 15.3 yards aDOT, which is that downhill kind of target. But that's when Patrick Mahomes first hit the scene in his first full season start and made magic happen. And that is also the only year out of his 6-year career that he's hit over that 15-yard mark. Now, secondly, 2019, 12.8 yards. 2020, 12.9 yards. In 2021, 10.7 yards for aDOT. And that is number 43 overall. And he also had 415 yak yards, which showed he was just making plays happen. He was getting those short routes, the screen routes, making plays after the catch is what you see. You don't see him being used as that same downhill threat. He's making it after the catch on these very low receptions. 10.7 was his aDOT last year. And his 415 yak yards was also number 13 overall. So it shows the kind of transition he's been through as a wide receiver, and he's never really been that downfield threat. While Tyreek Hill is not the deep threat everyone thinks he is, yes, he can do that. But what Tyreek Hill excels at is creating separation at the line of scrimmage. He can get open fast. And that is something that people overlook because they just remember these deep passes that Tyreek Hill does. He will be helping Tua to create separation at the line of scrimmage, get him the ball in his hands. He will make magic happen. He'll make the yak yards and be able to be this top end upside wide receiver we've always known him to be. While it's safe to say Tua is no Patrick Mahomes, it's also a fair point to point out what Deebo Samuel did under the Shanahan-McDaniels system with Jimmy G under center. Now, I'm not saying McDaniels will use Tyreek exactly like Tyreek Hill because there's one Deebo Samuel. This is the only time we've ever seen a wide receiver be used that much in the wide receiver role. He will use him in a similar fashion because McDaniels will bring over that offense from Kyle Shanahan and take some pieces from it and use him in that field. Using Tyreek in the screen game, in the short passes, getting the ball into his hand. And while Tua isn't the best deep ball thrower, he is definitely a very accurate. He is at least as good as Jimmy Garoppolo and has the potential to be a ton better. And while Deebo finishes wide receiver 2 overall next year, you can see a similar output of Tyreek Hill producing something like that in this offense. A lot of people are using Tyreek Hill as pushing him back to that mid-tier RB or wide receiver 2 range, where I don't think there's a reason why you should have Tyreek Hill out of your top 10. He's still 28 years old. He has at least 4 years of elite production left, and you don't trade that much for him not to figure out how to get the ball into his hands. In my opinion, Tyreek Hill would be a trade for target this year. You can definitely leverage the fact that Tua is now under center. People aren't expecting elite production, wide receiver 1 production out of Tyreek. And if you're a competing team, this is a guy you need to go pick up.